Life is like a bunch of cables, confused and tangled up in a mess. But with the iFMARS 100 watts magic cable, life can be simplified with one cable to charge 3 devices simultaneously. The magic cable is 2 meters long with a thick nylon braided cable that is well built for travels and everyday carry. Essentially, it's meant to last a long time. And it's over flex guard as well, meaning it can be twisted in awkward angles like this and it will not create any knots. Unlike a traditional silicone cable right here, where knots like this can appear and untangling them can be a messful venture, which we want to avoid. Now, iFMARS included one Velcro strap for cable management, which is fine, but if they included 2, it'll be amazing because 2 meters cable needs more cable management. Now, there's 3 variants to all this cable series right here, starting with the cable series C3, which refers to the main head being the 100 watts, the secondary head right here, 20 watts for your iPad and smartphone, and another one right here, the third head is 12 watts type C. So the variable will be on the third head. So if we move to the L3, L3 stands for the third head right here being lightning. So you can see there is 2 lightnings right here with the primary, secondary and the third being changed. So M3 stands for the third head being micro USB right here. So there is 3 variants right here. I suggest getting a few cables, like for example the M3, the C3 right here, if you are doing content creation and a lot of different devices that you need to charge on the go. But if let's say if you are Apple ecosystem content creator, you may want to pick up the L3, maybe a couple of them. Scenario number 1 to avoid: 3 Apple chargers with 3 Apple cables. Remove the 2 chargers and the cables. Use a 90 watt charger and the L3 cable right here. So one 96 watt charger charging 3 Apple devices with 1 cable. Scenario 2 to avoid is 1 charger and multiple cables. Remove the cables and use an M3 right here. But since this is a multi-port GaN charger right here, you can expand another cable right here. So you can charge 2 ports, 6 devices. iFMARS has an optional portable magnetic charger for Apple Watch as well. The 3-way distribution hub contains an eMarket chip that speeds up power delivery up to 100 watts one-way single device charging, especially to Apple Silicone Macbooks or Thunderbolt 4.3 or USB 4.0 Windows-based notebooks. Now, it also has this MCU controller with DC to DC conversion that fairly distributes the power from 100 watts, for example, fairly distribute to 2 or 3 charging devices simultaneously. So let's jump into the power bit right here. Now the power bit is, to understand, there's one way. If you're doing in single charging device, that means using only one of the each head. If you're using the primary USB-C head right here, you get 100 watts. If you're not using it, you're only using this head to charge, let's say, your iPad or your iPhone, you get 20 watts. If you're using the variable third head, you get a maximum of 12 watts. That's in single device charging. Now, if you are charging multiple devices simultaneously, like using 2 or 3 of these heads right here simultaneously, with a 100 watts GaN charger, the main Type-C connector head right here will drop from 100 watts to 85 watts, whereas the 2 remaining cable will share between them, maybe single or 2 of them, 15 watts for a total of 100 watts. Thus the fairly distribution part I mentioned earlier. Here is a quick summary of the charging protocols that it supports, as well as the charging distribution table based on different Apple chargers. We have tested the primary 100 watt Type-C charging head on 2 of our MacBook Pros. First is the MacBook Pro 13-inch 2017. It does show it supports 100 watt PD charging via the system report, as well as the MacBook Pro 14-inch M1 Pro 2021 version. It does show in the system report it supports 100 watt PD charging. Now the preview right here is actually the live charging results of the M1 Pro I mentioned earlier. it does go above 90 watts and sometimes it peaks to 100 watts, depend on the MacBook whether it needs that wattage at that moment. We have tested on the latest tester right here for the 100 watt, and for the subsequent 20 watts and 12 watt, it does meet its required target rated speed when we test with this tester right here. So all in all, this is amazing. Here's a typical Apple product setup. Here's a typical content creator setup. The Magic Cable is a highly adaptable tool to be your everyday carry for your Apple products or content creators on the go like we are. Now, earlier in the video, I did mention that if they included 2 Velcro straps, that would be amazing. I wish they also included a soft carrying pouch, because I think on general, each consumer will purchase 2 cables, and when you bundle 2 cables together, I don't think Velcro strap can contain its massive powerness. So having a soft carrying pouch would be amazing and advisable. Now, one thing I will have to mention is even you buy 2 cables or single cable, it's good value for money because it's single cable powering 3 devices, especially if you are a MacBook user that use the 96 watts single USB port charger. That can be the way to go. Now, jokes aside, what I never mentioned in the video earlier is because it's hard to show, but now it's easy to show, is this split ends right here. I show close up, but actually it's very, very long. You can see right here. So you can have, like for example, the C3 cable where you have 2 MacBook Pro M1 Pro users work at opposite ends of the table, or symmetrical, or any way you want, because the distance from the tip to the center hub right here is long enough, so you can put your MacBook Pro at one side, your iPhone in the middle, your iPad Pro in another corner. You'll be fine. So thank you for watching this video. I would recommend to you guys, especially Apple users, to purchase this product. If you're interested to its updated price or where to purchase it, links in the video description as well as the first pinned comment. Currently they have a Kickstarter pre-order campaign, so good pricing right there. Till then, I hope to see you guys in the next iFMARS review.